Yo, what up though, Detroit? It is I, back again, episode 2. So I know usually what people do is like they let a lot of time pass in between episode 1 and episode 2 and they do like an outfit change and shit. Guess what? I don't have none of that shit for y'all. What I have is facts. What I have is some necessary information that you need to hear. Why do you need to hear it? Because everybody needs to hear it. Why does everyone need to hear it? Because criminal justice affects everybody. And the more it goes wrong and the more the abuse of power exists, the more effect it has on everyone and the more concerned we should all be. So honestly, fuck being pretty, fuck being cute, fuck all of that extra shit that probably would sell this video a lot better. I don't give a fuck. What I'm here for is the facts and getting down to business. So let's pick up with episode 2. Who the fuck decided to incarcerate Bolanos? Let's pick up where we left off. So where we left off last time was talking about how the jury ended up convicting on count 4 and how they didn't have the necessary information from the actual information, the thing that's called the information. They did not have that on their jury deliberation sheet. They just had count 4, lying to a peace officer, guilty, not guilty, and they chose guilty. That's irritating because there was more information that was required for them to be able to see, for them to be able to come to the actual determination. And I'm saying that not because they found him guilty. I'm saying that because the state charges people in a certain way for a certain reason. So the theory that they use to charge people should be known to a jury. If the theory that they're charging him on is lying to a police about larcenies from a motor vehicle, they should know that. They should know what the fuck they're finding him actually guilty of. In my opinion, there's no way to like go around that. Like if that's what you're saying he did, then I need to know exactly what the fuck you're asking me to make a determination on. You're asking me to say, is this guy guilty or not guilty? Of what? Lying. Lying about what? I need to know all of that information. If I'm a juror, I want to know. So this is already starting fucked up. So we're going down the line. This is who the fuck decided to incarcerate Bolanos? Again, I told you, the who is this entire system that fucks over everybody. It's just one thing after another that's a fucking avalanche of a downfall of an individual. It's just unchecked fucking power gone mad. So let's go. All right, picking up from there. So what happens at this point? So for those of you that tuned in with sentencing was on August 9th of 2024. At the sentencing, there was a recommendation. There's a thing called a PSI. A PSI is a pre-sentence investigation report. It is done on every single person who is convicted of a crime, takes a plea to a crime, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's basically like this little historical background about you and about the case that you're currently facing and or any previous cases that you had. It's just like a whole in-depth little bloop, bloop, bloop. Who are you? What are you about? All of those things. Okay. It also comes with a recommendation. There is a recommendation there. The recommendation comes from MDOC, right? So the MDOC recommendation for Bolanos was for 3 years probation with 6 months tether. Okay. This was brought up during sentencing. So a lot of you that, if you remember the sentencing or watch it on YouTube, go find it. Click the link here. Just playing. I'm not going to have any links. I'm not cool like that. So I don't know. Look it up on YouTube. It's there. All right. So at the sentencing, we asked that the judge strike any acquitted conduct from the PSI. She said no. We were talking about the fact that there was this recommendation that was given by MDOC. And, not only did we ask for them to not do the recommendation, we were like, hey, this guy's been locked up since December 10th. Like, we should probably just call it a wrap. Like, it's a high court misdemeanor that he was found guilty of. He was facing murder and a bunch, murder's a huge charge. He got acquitted of a murder. I don't think we need to really worry about a high court misdemeanor of lying to the police. Like, I think we could he's been locked up since December 10th. We are on August 9th. We should just call it a wrap and send him on his way. That's what we were trying to say. Judge was like, no. And we were like, okay, well, if we say no to that, all right, then I guess it looks like, we should probably go with this recommendation of this 3 years probation, 6 months tether. The judge was like, no. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find him guilty. Well, she was not finding him guilty. He was already found guilty. She was like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send him to MDOC for 18 months to 15 years. What? That's crazy. So a lot of people didn't even understand what that really meant. What does 18 months to 15 years mean? Because that is a crazy range of time, right? Like that's a ridiculous range of time. Usually people are like 2 to 5 years. Yeah, no, this is 18 months to 15 years. That's wild to like conceptualize that. So what does that mean? That means in the shortest amount of time that Bolanos could do incarcerated would be 18 months, given credit for the time that he already did in Wayne County Jail prior to his sentencing. So essentially that would mean that he would be out on parole. He'd be paroled on June 9th of 2025. That was what that was supposed to mean. And or the maximum time that MDOC can hold him is 15 years. That's crazy because MDOC didn't even want him to begin with. They wrote a recommendation and their recommendation was like, hey, let's just give him probation for 3 years and let's strap a tether on his ankle for like 6 months. So they didn't even want him to begin with, but the judge was the one who decided that she was going to override the recommendation and send him to MDOC. So that is in fact what happened. So again, just to recap, what specifically that means is that at the smallest amount of time that he would be doing in regards to this high court misdemeanor charge of lying to the police about larcenies for motor vehicles would be 18 months. That's the minimum amount of time that he would do. The maximum amount of time that he would do in relation to this charge is 15 years for lying to the police about larcenies from a motor vehicle, the larcenies that didn't happen. Keep that in mind. I also want you guys to really sit and think about going to prison for a high court misdemeanor charge of lying to the police. Think about how crazy that is. Think about how much taxpayer money goes into keeping a person incarcerated for 1 year. In the state of Michigan, the prison system for a annual, like what they annually like get for one person is about $49,000. So I don't know how that like breaks down into like individual taxpayer money or whatever, but like we as taxpayers pay for these people to be in prison. So right now we are paying for Michael Jackson Bolanos to be imprisoned for lying to a police officer, and the prison system is making about $49,000 off of him. Are they making that? Are we spending that? Something like that. I don't know. Like, don't maybe quote that statistic. Matter of fact, let me look that up. But nonetheless, that is ridiculous to think about that. Whatever. I'm not even going to look it up. You guys can look it up yourselves because that's kind of not the exact point. But the point is we're getting fucked and they're fucking him. It's all a fuck show. Like who wants to get fucked next? That's another game show we can add to the show. Like who the fuck decided to incarcerate Bolanos and who wants to get fucked next? That's it's crazy. Like, hi, step up. It's like the price is right. Come on down. This is crazy as shit. And we should all be upset about this because this is absolutely insane, absurd. So, super short episode 2. I'm going to end it like a minute early, I guess. I don't know why everything is taking 10 minutes. I feel like it should not take 10 minutes for me to just have said that little bit. But okay, cool. I did. There's so many more episodes coming. There's so much to explain. There's a lot going on here. A lot going on. And you all need to be aware of it because this is not something that's just happening to him. This could happen to anyone. So keep it in mind. Be aware. Stay in tune. Share, post, like, put it out there. Yo, we got to support the people that are wrongfully incarcerated. And this is very important. So please, if you guys are my supporter, if you guys are his supporter, if you guys support doing what's right, share this. Post it. I don't know what. Just make sure that people know what's going on. Keep people aware of this situation, y'all. Please do that. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Episode 3 coming soon. Stay tuned.